No. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hit go live. I'm going to reposition myself as well. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. I think we're probably live at this point.
Maybe.
We're going to find out.
Maybe the delay.
Well, I mean, I can't... Oh, dadgummit. I'm not even really in the picture. Hold on.
I know. That's what I...
Hold on. Sorry, we're doing something a little bit different with our stream tonight.
You don't over here, man. Swans don't have teeth.
No, but they do have big, mean chompers. Well,
yeah,
bills.
big ones.
Yeah, whatever.
Like giant Pringles.
If you can hear us all right, good. I hope you can.
Thumbs up emoji? I don't know.
We're going to be kind of monitoring from our phones. Excuse me. Just because the computer's so far away. This is not really... We're not recording an episode. What we're doing, though, is we're having a conversation on the live stream that will wind up being a bonus episode over the next couple of days. And we'll get into it a little bit. But first and foremost, hello. I hope that everybody's doing okay. I was a little frazzled getting this to work, as I normally am on Thursday nights. But anyway, doesn't matter. We're here. Curtis and Swan are here as well. I thought that this conversation that we're going to be having, I didn't want to just have on my own. And I thought it was important to have multiple perspectives on what has been going on in the bourbon industry over the past couple of weeks. But before we do that, let's pour something, please.
Yes. Jeez, get the bourbon flowing.
Can everybody hear us all right? Don't know why I sang it. Also, Curtis and Swan, how are you guys?
I'm doing great, Perry.
I'm really doing well.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm all good.
That's good to hear.
Be better with some bourbon in a second.
Yes,
but, I'm
indeed.
doing great.
Good. That's good to hear. I'm also doing all right. It's been a very long week. Been like a long 2 weeks that I'm just kind of... I'm ready for Memorial Day.
Yes.
I'm ready to not have to go to work. And
For a day.
just,
One day.
Like, I just need a day to recover.
That's how I feel too. I've been sitting there going like, I've just been really struggling the past couple of weeks. Man, I could really use a week right now. Like a week at a beach.
And I've got a couple of like times where I'm going to be able to go away, and not have to worry about anything. But like just right now, I need a morning where I can just sleep in.
Yeah, that's an extra morning you don't have to wake up to an alarm.
Exactly.
Just wake up to like the birds of Kentucky chirping outside, like me.
Yeah.
But it's it'd be nice.
For anybody that has to work Memorial Day,
Sorry.
I am sorry.
We'll come. Never mind. I was going to say something really mean.
Oh.
Moving on. We just poured an 11-year Elijah Craig pick from Liquor Barn.
This is special.
It's real good. It was so special that before I finished my first bottle, I went back and I bought another one.
Smart man.
No, Pete. It is not time to break out the pinhook. I know, right?
Yep.
I know. It's really freaking good.
It's so smooth.
I don't know if I've ever had an Elijah Craig like this before.
It's a little off profile, but not in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it does seem to be a little bit sweeter than what Elijah Craig normally is. But it does it in such a profound way. Like, it's a very in-your-face 94 proof bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's not lacking in the richness department at all.
No.
And you really get it on the back of the
Mhm.
palate. That's when it starts to really flourish and have the bold, spicy flavors.
I totally agree. What's everybody else drinking? I'd love to know what you're drinking on this Thursday night. Man, how weird has the weather been today, by the way?
Which
Did you
storm
notice-
are you talking about?
Yeah, which one?
Well, Swan, they're
It's a
calling
swan,
us.
they're here for you. That's so perfect.
Oh, I hope that picked up on the audio.
Yeah. Brethren?
But it looked so evil at the beginning of the day today.
We just see Swan jump out the window.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
My people are calling.
This is when you realize they can't fly.
Yeah.
That big white suit doesn't actually do anything for you.
Nothing at all. Gets you a free cane.
Gosh, the delay on this is rough. Anyway. Yeah, weather's been crazy in Kentucky today.
Yeah, it's been all over the place. But it was super nice all last week, so I can't
It
complain
was.
much.
That's true.
Yeah, really. After, 1, 2 o'clock, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But I guess you guys didn't really come here to listen to the forecast.
Yeah, we're
How's
terrible
the weather today?
What's the weather going to be like today, son?
It's
It's gonna rain!
gonna rain.
We're here to talk about bourbon. We're here to talk about stuff that's been going on in the bourbon world over the past couple of weeks. And most importantly, of course, we're going to be talking about the fact that Marianne Eaves left Castle and Key, which I was not expecting in any sense of the word.
I was unaware.
I just totally threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it kind of blindsided me. I didn't see it coming.
And I also hadn't heard, any kind of comments or any, rumor, any kind of rumblings before it either.
I never did either.
Yeah.
Never heard a single word about it before it happened.
I have to be
Which
honest.
that might have been
That's
why.
probably the good thing that she did it that way, because there'd be so much pressure from people to stay, because she is so tied to that at Castle and Key.
Yeah.
When you say pressure, what do you mean?
I think there was a lot of people that really thought she should have stayed until the bourbon came out. At least the first batch.
We'll get to that and some kind of speculation about all of that as well in a minute. But so when I found out, I was just at work. I just happened to open up Facebook, and the very first thing at the top was a post from Marianne.
Mm-hmm.
And it said, "My time at Castle and Key has been wonderful, but it's time for me to move on to more things." She said, "I'm not leaving Master Distilling behind or leaving Distilling behind. There are just more things that I want to do." And I was like, what an interesting way of putting that. Because it sounds like to me that means that she grew tired of it, or it kind of soured on her. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because she hasn't had a lot of time as a master distiller. But at the same time, she's been thrust into the spotlight in such an interesting way that maybe she was tired of that. Maybe she did want to try other new things, But what were your all's initial reactions when you found out about it?
To me, I just thought and this was just my initial thought, is she seemed like she was enjoying, especially from your podcast, doing some of the more botanical spirits and things, that she really just wanted to delve into that for a little bit. Maybe that was just a direction she wanted to take for a little while. Because, master distilling, I guess, doesn't have to pertain to bourbon. We just associate that with that so much. And it could be that she just wants to kind of adventure into her own space for a little bit, whether that's bourbon or an American whiskey or something along those lines.
Yeah, my initial reaction was just, at first, I wouldn't say I was, completely shocked or anything like that. It was more of just that was unexpected, and I, after reading the post, I had gotten it after I saw the podcast retweeted.
Yeah.
And my initial thought was, well, it seems like there's something that she just wanted to be doing it. There was something else, and she's always been into the science of kind of distilling and mixing and the research behind and the grains and the actual kind of stuff. So I felt like maybe that has a little something to do with it. And with that said, I don't want to come off as thinking I know what she was thinking.
Well, sure.
There's no way of doing that.
Yeah.
It caught me off guard, I think is more my reaction to it. And like Swan was saying, that maybe that's more of something she wanted to go into. Maybe there's more to distilling rather than just bourbon.
Well, I hate to play the numbers card or the money card, but it always kind of seemed like, and it wasn't until I was able to have conversations with her in person, it always seemed like the gin and the vodkas were being released as distilleries, upstart distilleries typically will do, to make money in the interim before the whiskey actually hits the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree with you to an extent that maybe she did have a little bit more of a passion for crafting botanical spirits.
Yeah, and I mean, you also got to think, like, there's so many distilleries that put out products to start off with that I don't even know that they make. Like, if you look at Wilderness Trail, the first time I heard of them was when they put out their first release of their wheated mash bill bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they made a sorghum rum for a long time before that, just as kind of a moneymaker. But with Castle and Key, the second that they were like, hey, we're putting out a vodka and we're putting out a gin that's going to be a bourbon drinker's gin.
Yes.
I went and got one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I immediately went and got one. And I remember seeing pictures of Chad getting one signed at Liquor Barn. I mean, it was a big deal. And just to know that she put in the effort to make it more of a bourbon drinker's gin, it really kind of gained some popularity, at least where it was distributed.
Yeah. I think what would be an interesting topic after we, speak about this is maybe if we could get her on the show to talk about.
Yeah, and I would love to have her on somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
And the reason is because she seemed so ready to step back from the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, one of my immediate reactions was, you think she'll be on the show to talk about this? Like, I'll just send her a quick little message and, make something out of it. But I decided against that and realized that this is probably, and more than likely, not probably, more than likely hard for her.
Very much
in terms of a transition. This is basically transitioning careers. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that she had enough space, and we'll get to that eventually.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was a well, analyzed and thought out decision. I think.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second. I don't want to put my tinfoil hat on too much.
Nah, do it, Perry. I love it.
Well, okay. So we had a Patreon only Google Hangout the other night, and of course this topic came up, and this is kind of why I wanted to get into this a little bit deeper. This is why I wanted to actually take the time to compose some thoughts and present them and make my opinion clear on the matter, right? Brian Allred, one of the patrons, friends of the show, brought up the point that he felt like she was kind of being pushed out. Okay? The reasoning being that she essentially wasn't moving fast enough with getting her product out. And unfortunately, bourbon is a waiting game. Or fortunately, depending upon how you look at it. But, in this case, and if that assumption is to be true, that would imply that they were just getting tired of waiting and of her saying it'll be ready when it's ready. What do you guys think about that possibility? Because I can see it being a reality, but I don't know if it's necessarily what happened.
I mean, I feel like it's probably a possibility because I have to imagine every single person that saw her that was excited for the bourbon, they're like, hey, when's that bourbon going to be ready? Like, it's got to be the first question.
Oh, I'm sure she heard it every day for 4 years.
Yeah, and that's got to be rough, but on the other hand, I mean, you could say that for almost every master distiller that's doing stuff.
Sure.
I mean, why do they keep stuff under wraps? The second they say they put something up on the TTB for, just to put it out there and get the proof finalized and the label and all that, then you're immediately bombarded, I'm sure, as a master distiller. Hey, when's the Weller Foolproof coming out? When's the Amaranth of the Gods stuff coming out for Buffalo Trace? I mean, that's got to be something that Harlan's getting daily. And he may not have any control over it.
Well, I want to clarify something about that, too. Harlan Wheatley is a special case because he doesn't take a whole lot of time to be a public figure in the way that Marianne does.
That's true, yeah.
So where Harlan is the master distiller, that's his title, that's his role, and he's not really the face of Buffalo Trace. Marianne was the face of Castle and Key.
Yeah.
That was her brand.
Yeah.
And I mean, you go
and she kind of brought the street cred to it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Actually, I'm not even going to say kind of. I mean, she brought the credibility. She brought the credibility to that brand.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion. And so I think that it's definitely a possibility that could have happened. I mean, obviously I'm not close enough to know or like not an inside, don't have an inside source on Castle and Key. But I mean, I definitely could see that being a possibility. On the other hand, you could also see it being like, hey, maybe this is just a time that I don't think this is the right position for me at this moment in time. And there's some other stuff I want to be able to do. And I will say that the timing, timing's not always right for some of those things. And just because, they're about to be putting out their bourbon, there's a lot of factors that could be played into why she decided to resign from it.
Let's talk a little bit, too, about the possibility of whether or not she was pushed out. Let's just let that be... Let's just make that a hypothesis.
Okay.
If that is the case, do you guys have more or less faith? Or, okay, how about this? Does the way that you think Castle and Key Bourbon and Rye could turn out, has that opinion changed on the way that Marianne has been removed from that brand now?
For me, no. And it's just because I know they're waiting for a bottled and bond product, and I've yet to have one that's come out, even from a new distillery where I'm immediately turned off from the product. So just having that on there is going to be kind of just a stamp of approval for me right off the bat. I will be one of those people, though, and I'll freely admit this, that I'm going to try to get as many bottles of it when it first comes out because I know that Marianne was the one behind it and the one distilling it. And then once it kind of rolls over into, well, she was there for 2.5 years of maturation in the warehouse or whatever. Now it's kind of rolled over into somebody else. I'm going to go get another bottle and see how it compares. Let's make sure they're, up to snuff. But I have to imagine it won't differ too much.
Yeah, I'm not going to, stray away from it just because of that at that moment in time. Like, I'm at least going to form my own opinion on both of those. I will say I will be, the brand is definitely probably going to take a hit because she was the face of it. And she's what brought a lot of what Castle and Key was. It was a different distillery, a whole different concept of, we're really going to the nitty gritty of it's only these farmers, it's only these grains, it's from this strain from, way back and like specifically for this. And so there definitely will be a change in, I think, that. Because she has such a great mind for those things.
Right.
And I don't think that just getting one other person or anybody else it's going to change it.
Lots of people in the chat, also on YouTube rather, are saying that they are also less excited, or that they are less excited about it, and that they have a little bit less faith in how the product is going to turn out. My personal opinion, and I'm really torn between a couple of factors here. The first one is that everything that's in the barrel right now is Mariannes Vision.
Yes.
Right? It's her craft. She put the work into it, and there was an end goal that she had established that, unfortunately, now I don't know is ever going to be realized. Because now and this is transitioning into my, well, what if it doesn't turn out good idea. Now somebody else is going to come in and do one of two things. One, they could just say, well, really three things. One, they could just say, let's go ahead and push it to market, which is a huge possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they could say, it's good, but let's let it sit for a little while, maybe a year more. Or three, they maintain some of that vision that Marianne had, and they actually give it the time that it needs to mature, and they still have that it's ready when it's ready mentality. And that would imply to me that third option would imply to me that would not be a higher up issue with Castle and Key. It would be just the fact that Marianne was ready to go and do other things.
Yeah.
So what do you guys see as the timeline now for when Castle and Key could come out? Do you think it's a year from now, under a year from now?
When was the anticipated year?
2021?
Okay.
I think. And I think that date kept getting pushed back a little bit. And again, I think that was because Marianne was saying
it's not ready.
It's not ready.
Yeah.
Exactly. But what do you guys feel like could be? Because it's May of 2019. 2021 is essentially a year and a half away.
I think they're probably going to wait till it hits that bottom and bond mark, but I have to imagine it'll be 4 years and 1 day.
I honestly am not sure, because you sit there and there's so many factors that go into this in terms of building a brand that they haven't even launched. Like, they've launched, but they haven't launched the actual bourbon product. So you go, okay, do we stick with... It depends.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to recreate what Marianne has done previously? Maybe.
I would argue yes. I would say
technically they have the same. I'm sure they have the rights to, like, the mash bill and, like,
well, sure,
like that.
Yeah, the grains that go into it, the amount of time that the fermenting temperature and everything that, I mean, there's no way that she didn't.
Oh yeah,
leave those notes.
No doubt.
But
so I think they're gonna end up going. We're gonna wait till it's ready. We'll push it out. Well, we'll push it out. It'll be that product. Here's where I think it's interesting is after that first batch that Marianne oversaw, seeing if there's a big kind of fall between those two periods. Also, it depends on who they get, what the vision that person is thinking.
Yeah.
Because then you go, okay, well, are they totally going to switch it? If they bring a new distiller on and they all of a sudden are like, I think we should go in this direction, then the bourbon can totally change, and we might be waiting another, 8 years. I would say that if that possibility you were talking about, that management wanted to get it out to market quicker, then they would be willing to probably change their vision on how it goes. Yeah. So I think there's too many factors that there's too many unknowns at this moment in time to be like, it's specifically going to be 3 years and a day or something like that. So Matt, Whiskey Crusaders, just made a good point. Or maybe not a good point. Maybe it's a point that we can talk about. He said, it's the money. Money is what this is always about on someone's side. That opens up the possibility that maybe it could be about money on Marianne's side, too.
I personally don't really feel that way. I think that if anything, it's probably more corporate greed, if that is the case. But I want to say one thing, and then we'll move on to a little bit more positive notes about all of this, and that would be Mariannes Future. But Castle and Key currently, at this stage, is left with the lack of a guiding force, and really the lack of a vision. And to have somebody who was so dynamic and so full of excitement and vigor for not only this industry, but for the brand that she was building from nothing, and the history that went into Castle and Key being Castle and Key. I just don't know if this can be recreated, if those same emotions or that passion can be reinstilled in somebody should they take over as the Castle and Key Master Distiller. And we're always going to go, they're no Marianne. Not necessarily about them as a distiller, but as the face of that brand. That is always going to happen for us.
Yeah. It's impossible to recreate what she has created and helped progress the brand and the actual product that she had done. I think that's not a question. I think the bourbon will change.
I think it will too,
I think this
inevitably.
If they put out the first batch, that will be like Marianne's batch, And then if they have somebody new, I think that's when there's going to be a change of, oh, this tastes different. This isn't the same. It might be a similar profile, but it's not going to be what it was. Because you don't have that guiding hand.
Yeah, I think so too.
It'd be like saying, let's take Jimmy Russell out of Wild Turkey.
But that's...
You have a lot of history.
Yeah,
I don't want to...
I don't want to get too morbid, but we're getting to the point where that's kind of inevitable.
Well, sure. I'm just meaning yeah, I'm just meaning...
The man's in his 80s.
Yeah. But I'm just meaning, you take him out, and then you go, well, the bourbon's going to change. He's had a lot of years.
Hopefully not.
Well, he's had a lot of years to train
Yeah.
and mentor people on the vision that he had.
Yeah.
I think right now they don't have. She didn't have enough time to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the big sign that you'll probably see is, the big thing is always getting your bottle signed by the master distiller. And when that bottle first comes out, I'd almost rather have one of the Castle and Key bottles signed by Marianne than whoever's going to replace her. Whoever replaces her is going to have that big of shoes to fill that they're going to want somebody else to sign their bottle than the current master distiller. That's going to be rough.
Yeah. It's something very weird that we've never seen before in the current state of bourbon.
It's a very interesting.
It is. It is.
The only thing I can even compare it to is I would love to have, some of the previous master distillers from Four Roses maybe sign a bottle, but
Sure.
that's about it.
Sure.
And for me, there's not enough information out right now to really form a solid opinion.
I think that's fair.
On what is going to happen and what happened.
Yeah.
We haven't had any information on the internal workings and the structure that they were having.
I agree. I
think they will be missed. She will definitely be missed.
I think so too. But I'm ready to not talk about the negativity behind all this. I think that there's a lot of really cool and good opportunity for her in the future. But this 1792 high rye, oh dang.
It's special.
It's some good stuff.
We haven't talked about 1792 in a long time.
We haven't.
Get on it, Kurt. This is just all you.
Oh, this is
me. This is all you.
Kurt, do you still feel as strongly about 1792 as you used to?
I haven't actually. I think I still feel as strongly. I have not had it in a while.
So the reason I brought this is because you had that kind of negative reaction to Wild Turkey 101, and it's a high rye.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see what you thought about this. I mean, it is a different proof. This comes in at like a little over 94. So it's not 101.
No, but it doesn't lose a whole lot of flavor to it.
It does not. No, it has almost as much kick. You're losing a little bit of that ethanol kick that you get on turkey, but not really losing any flavor.
Yeah.
Tell me if you get this. Chocolate chip cookie.
Be right back with you, Perry.
Because that's about... I mean, that is the main nosing note and the main palate note that I get.
Yeah, it's like an oatmeal chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, there is some kind of oatmeal-iness to it. Oatmeal-iness?
It's a little salty too.
Yeah, it does kind of have a savory quality to it, doesn't it? I like it, though.
I like it a lot.
I
Yeah.
really enjoy it.
Yeah.
70. I don't like their regular release that much. So
Small batch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really either.
Their small batch is just so mellow, and then
Oh,
everything
I do.
else that they put out is just wonderful. Like their single barrel is great. Or at least
Describe
one like that.
mellow.
It just it feels like it's watered down to me. It's been a long time.
It's
since
been a
I've
while
had
since
it.
I've had it.
Aha!
Yeah.
This is my turn. It's my turn, guys, to
Always
be
gonna
like,
get us.
yeah. You guys have had me try Wild Turkey 101 1,000,001 times. This time,
He's pissed.
this time, you guys are going to revisit it.
Okay, sure.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure
All right.
when, but it's going to happen. And it needs to be on the show.
Okay, yeah, no, we'll definitely do it on the
Yeah.
show. Maybe on that Saturday coming up here soon that
Because
we're
I
going to be
definitely think
recording
you should
for.
revisit.
Can I get a bonus episode where he runs the show and it's just a 1792 episode?
Oh my gosh.
All releases.
We did a 1792 episode back
Yeah, we
when.
did. Mhm.
I mean, it's been a while, but it's out there. Whew. It's not great, but it's out there.
I want to redo that one. It's all good.
Ah.
No, but this is
Talk
good.
about that
And I
later.
like the foolproof one as well. I think those are my two favorite from them.
225th anniversary as well.
Yeah, stock a few of those back.
Yeah, that was good.
One of which you gave me.
The
Yeah,
foolproof.
got you a refill, man.
Foolproof, dude.
Foolproof picks too. Those are
Yeah.
always good.
Mm-hmm. The picks, you got me a pick, and that was
Mm-hmm.
one of the best foolproofs I've ever had.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So positives about
Yes.
Marianne. I want to start this one off.
Uh-huh.
I think that she has probably one of the most valuable things you can get in bourbon right now. Because what's popping up right now in bourbon more than anything else?
Dusty's.
Well, it's craft distilling.
Well, okay.
It's huge. Dusty's are huge too, but I mean, that's kind of like it's becoming more of a secondary thing than a primary for a lot of people.
But it is something that people are trying to get more of.
Oh,
Expand their
absolutely.
palate
Yeah.
and everything.
Absolutely. But I mean, if you look at craft distilling, all of them are struggling to do exactly what she just did with Castle and Key.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody came to Kentucky right now and they had to pick 3 to 5 distilleries to go, I'd probably put Castle and Key in there, and they're new.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, you got the entirety of the Bourbon Trail, and if you're in Frankfort, Kentucky, I'd tell you, you might want to go check out Castle and Key.
Mm-hmm.
She's completely identified that brand. She's made it her own. She's even gone as far, from my understanding, to pick some of the specific staff she has on board so that she's not creating just another distillery, but an experience. She took full pride in making sure that it looked and felt the way that it did, with obviously a ton of money backing it, but at the same time, who in their right mind is making a craft distillery without having a ton of money backing it?
Well, that's a good point.
So I mean, if you're looking at, like, let's say the Rutledge distillery that's doing all their stuff right now, great, you're making a huge production right there, but at the same time, a production's not the same as an experience, and that's what she was selling. She didn't have bourbon out yet, and she's still selling an experience. That is insane. So I think that a lot of the craft distillers, even if, like, say she went and did the same thing Dave Pickrell did, where he went around and just did consulting.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a pin in that because I really, really, really want to talk about Dave. Is that what you're about to bring up?
No.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Dave here in a minute
Yeah.
too, because. Go ahead, Kurt.
I also want to just say, I think that that part, the brand and the experience part,
Mhm.
I think a lot of that was a collective effort of Marianne, the two other owners, and also shout out to Buckhorn because they did their brand.
They did
as
a
well.
Yeah.
great job with their branding.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing is,
So
for
I
somebody
think-
like me that's not super invested in that stuff, I just look at it as Marianne. But
Yeah,
for
sure.
you
I
guys
can
that have
understand.
that kind of background in design and stuff, I'm sure you look at it as like, oh well, this person did a great job on the branding. I'm sure Marianne didn't sit down on the computer and put anything in.
Well, sure.
But-
Yeah, I guess I was just meaning the experience of where, we have this castle. We have this sitting on,
that'd be awesome. I have this
specific-
castle.
yeah, specific history. I think at that point in time of the creation of Castle and Key, that's when they bought the place, and I believe, or they at least were talking about the place, and that's when they reached out to Marianne to
Yeah.
get that.
That's
So
true.
I think the overall story of it was a collective effort. I will say that I think Marianne was what was spreading that word
Yeah.
and spreading that story, I think, as the face of the brand.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
fair.
to be able to do that, that's amazing in itself as well.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to kind of not clear that up, but like,
Just in addition to
yeah,
and I get that. And going back to, like you said, somebody's always motivated by money. I have to imagine people in this industry see that she's kind of helped build this experience with the help of others, and think that is extremely valuable, and I need to be in on that. So I can't imagine her leaving Castle and Key is going to bring on a long term of unemployment. I mean, she's going to get picked up quick.
no, not at all.
Well, and let's talk too about the fact that she has said that she's trying to do more than just distilling.
Mhm.
Okay. The Lexington Herald Leader, which is our local newspaper, actually got a bit more info than what was put out with their statements. And she was saying that she wanted to do like lifestyle stuff. I think she was looking to get into like multimedia, different things like a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she would be great on Travel Channel or Food Network
She would be.
or something of that degree. And I think that she has the absolute personality for it to be able to step into something like that while still being a face for Kentucky and for bourbon and for our heritage here. But I think that, and maybe it's just me hoping for it, if she does not wind up in some capacity being the next Dave Pickerel, who builds these brands up, makes really cool and interesting things, gets associated with something, has the passion for it, has the know-how, has the drive, and everything, I would be so disappointed if she did not embody some aspect of that.
Yeah, she's
And
got so much potential for that lane.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah. I see all of that, and I just hope that that's where that goes.
Yeah,
Because when Dave died, that nobody's filled that hole. He left a huge hole in the bourbon industry
Mm-hmm.
as a consultant and as somebody who, really was a niche for that aspect of the bourbon industry. And we talked about this before. I can't remember who I was having this conversation with, but and it was well before Marianne left Castle and Key as well. The question was, who's going to replace Dave Pickerel? And we racked our brains. Did not know who it was going to be. We thought maybe it would have been Bryn Elliott. Couldn't maybe have been... now, Harlan Wheatley doesn't really
He's not.
fill that Nashville.
you kinda mentioned it
Fill that
already.
Nashville. Doesn't really fill that profile, is what I
That's
was
pretty
trying to
awesome,
say.
man.
He's just not like the face enough of anything. Kind of like you were mentioning.
Yeah.
I could see him doing it, but I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows him well enough
Yeah.
to make that judgment.
We just all kind of came back to Marianne. And I just, if that's not something that she has on her radar, I'd be really, really surprised.
yeah. I think that she is such a talent and such a once in, like a very unique thought process and a unique person So, like, we all hope for that. I think that's why we've all jumped on this bandwagon of, like, oh, we're really seeing the potential here. We want to see this happen. We want to see some sort of, bourbon to really come out and you to build all these things.
Yeah.
I think one big thing that we have to think about, though, is that might not be the direction she wants to go in.
And that's totally fine.
And that will be like we were, it's like your game 7, the NBA finals, and you're like, yes, we're gonna, and then you lose the NBA finals. Like you're like, that's gonna be so amazing. But with that being said, there might just be different avenues that she wants to explore, and
that's fine.
And maybe it's not in the bourbon world. I don't know.
That's fine. All the power to her.
Yeah.
I mean, she is poised to be whatever she wants to be right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
that's where I think is exciting. I don't know where she goes from here, but I'm excited. I'll follow that.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, if she winds up on Travel Channel, I'll watch that show every single time that it's on TV, every new episode. I'll be there for it.
Yeah.
If she writes a book, I'll buy it up immediately. If she's making, guest appearances as a speaker at events, absolutely I'm going to go and I'm going to see her speak.
Yeah.
She just has that dynamic, magnetic personality to where you want to be involved with what she's doing, and you want her to succeed. That's, I think, what we're getting at, is that we want her to do really good things no matter where she goes. And unfortunately, her time with what we thought was going to be her brand for a long time, that got cut short.
Yeah.
But it opened up so many doors for her.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So what do you guys want to see from her then? I've already kind of said what I want to see from her, but what do you all want to see?
The consulting thing and the Travel Channel show would be amazing. I think that would be great fits, for her. I honestly just want to see her go into, a distillery that maybe is making good product but isn't getting highlighted, and go in there, make it a brand, and if she, spends 3 or 4 years there and it becomes a staple and wherever it's at, move on to the next one and do it over again. I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, the consulting thing's more of like, let me give you a couple of pointers. I'll come, be at your distillery for 6-8 months, see how it goes. But I mean, like, for her to just pilot another brand, build it up.
Yeah.
Heck, maybe even find somebody else that's willing to restore another, like, classic distillery and head that up. That'd be great. She can do anything, though. I mean, I have no doubt that she can get into any avenue she wants and really make it her own. So I'm just excited to see what she does.
I think that I could definitely see her going into, coming in and being kind of like, hey, this product that we want to create, like, we want you to kind of set the foundation on some of this. I could see her being like a consultor, like a consulting person that somebody goes, hey, already established brands or like coming up brands, stuff like that. I could definitely see that be an avenue for her. And, shows would be cool. I don't think that's really in the cards right now. Maybe further down the line.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm on a very, set of, we don't have enough information yet to even come up with it. It's all speculation.
All speculation.
Yeah. But I think that the consulting kind of Dave Pick role is really fits her.
I'm gonna take a brief pause for you, Curtis, so you can close the window.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's raining. There we go. You don't have to walk it.
Hope my friends are okay out there.
Yeah, they were really...
Your brothers.
They were flying away, man.
Whew. I know it's kind of a cop-out to say this, but maybe a little cheesy. I just want her to succeed in whatever she does, and I want her to be happy doing it. If she wasn't happy at Castle and Key, that's fine. You're allowed to make that decision to go on and do something else. But she has so much to offer. That's the core of it.
Yeah.
And when the time comes for her to announce her next big thing, I hope that it's successful for her. That's it.
And I hope it's bourbon.
And I hope it has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think that that's all something that we can kind of agree on, too, is that we hope that there is some bourbon aspect to it when the time comes. But if there isn't, fine. Again, that's her choice. That's her decision that she's made to spread her wings and fly and do something else.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
If there's one request I could have, Marianne, if you're listening, can we get a barrel pick of Castle and Key when it comes out from her?
Oh, heck yeah.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
Could you imagine a Marianne barrel pick? Like, she went in, she hand-selected what she wanted the product to be and when it should come out of the barrel.
Yeah.
That thing would be nuts.
No doubt.
All right, so we'll end what's going to be released.
This also could be like a very it could have been unexpected. Something unexpected happened, and that's a reason. You know?
That's true.
I think it literally could be like something bad happened, or something unexpected happened within her life, and that's why it needed to happen. Like, I don't know.
All right, we're gonna cut that there for the recording. Because
How are you guys?
People are worried that we're not paying attention enough in the chat. I feel bad about that.
Oh, we got you.
Very sorry. So
We're gonna need more bourbon though.
yes, we are. The last little bit of this live stream is just going to be for you guys. I'm sorry that we didn't spend more time paying attention to you.
Yes. We love you.
We do love you very much. And it's not all the time either that Curtis and Swan get to be on the stream. So
Yeah, I'd love that. You know.
we'll make it more
interact,
regular
communicate.
thing.
Yeah.
So basically, we're back. What do you guys want to drink? Do we want to drink the McKenna that you brought?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, Swan's happy.
Oh,
Kurt, what's the
Happy Swan.
dude?
What?
Dude, I've got that exact same bottle up there.
Oh, for real?
The same date and everything.
That's awesome.
Wait, what's
for
the-
everyone, it's 11/13/08.
Which is my dad's birthday.
No way.
And I'm saving my bottle to open with him on his birthday.
Oh, that's so cool. So
Yeah.
you already have it.
Yeah.
Okay. And barrel number 5,888.
Yep, same one.
That's wild. Where'd you get it at?
Shoot.
I got mine at Buckhorn Liquors.
No, I think I got mine at Liquor Lot over in Winchester.
Huh. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I got mine at Perry's house. He handed it to me.
Is it the same bottle?
Yep, it's the same one.
That's so funny. I also had
Oh,
another
it was?
bottle, and I believe it was the same barrel, same everything.
Yeah. So cool, man. Because it's been kind of staring at me. I was like, I want to drink it, but also want to save it for your
Now we'll know.
birthday. Yeah, Dad, don't watch this.
Yeah.
I got a question for everybody in chat too. Have you guys found anything good recently? I found Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and like none of the regular Buffalo Trace stuff's been coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even like Buffalo Trace itself?
Buffalo Trace itself, I've seen Blanton's occasionally, and then I've seen Eagle Rare, but when you're just talking like Weller 107, Weller 12, any of it, I've not seen any of that like in probably a month or two.
Huh.
It's been hard to get.
I think I saw Adam Terry post. He had a bottle. What was that?
He did get a bottle of Weller 12, and he got a bottle of Elijah Craig Barrel.
It was the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Yeah.
He specifically mentioned he's like ready for the stream or something like that.
Yeah.
Ian wants to know, Kurt, if you're going to be at the next meetup.
Oh, I'll be at the next meeting.
Okay, cool.
Yes, for sure. As long as it's not October. Don't make it October.
It's
okay?
not October.
All right, cool.
We're
We'll
gonna talk-
discuss. Yeah,
we'll talk about this
yeah.
a little bit later.
But yes, I will be there.
Let's see. Joseph said, Swan's going to hook me up on our hunt. Right, Swan? Right?
Yeah, totally. I'm looking, man. I've actually got, when you come over, I've got a bunch of like unopened extras down in the bottom part of my cabinet. So if there's something that you're just dying for, we'll see if we can make a deal.
Steven said he wanted to meet Curtis because he makes him laugh.
Well, thanks, Steven. Hopefully I'll be able to make you laugh there, too.
Ian's found Sazerac. So Baby Saz.
Baby Saz, yeah. I've not seen that one a little bit. That is a good one, though.
Matt said that he's found George Remus and Blood Oak Pack 5.
I've seen the Blood Oath. I didn't pick it up. Everyone's doing rum finish this year.
Wow. Joseph got, he says he can get Eagle Rare, but that's it. And Steven said, I got an E.H. Taylor single barrel today.
What?
I saw a small batch the other day in
a
couple of different places.
I saw a small batch, but I didn't know how long it had been there because it was one of those that was like, we're going to get $75 for this. And I'm like, not from me. So I kept going.
Not from this one.
Oh, but I did also see Rock Hill Farms the other day.
I've not seen that one in a long time.
The guy was selling it for like $200.
That's crazy.
No, it's what, like a $50 or $60 bottle?
Yeah.
It's
right?
supposed to be
I'm
cheaper.
fairly certain.
It's so weird. It's supposed to be cheaper than Bland's. Not by much, only like $5 or so. But then it's also, a few proof points higher.
Doug saw a special reserve on the shelf in Louisiana, but not a bunch of others. Linux Cat, Swan, we never see Weather 12, Special Reserve, Buffalo Trace, E.H. Taylor Small Batch are all plentiful here. I got a handle of 107 a couple weeks ago. Hey, Linux Cat.
If you got a handle of
We need to chat,
107,
buddy.
you need to save that, buddy.
Oh, Brian Allred just got Kentucky Owl confiscated.
Oh, okay.
Good.
How was that?
You want to try it?
Yeah, I'll try it.
It's up there. I'll get it down for you.
It's up in his roost.
It's in.
Yes.
Brandon said he can get small batch all day for $35.
1792 small batch? I'm just joking.
$35, man. That's good. It's 43 at the distillery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you guys are finding stuff. Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
I already
pretty
have a bottle
It-
down. I bought two at the same time because
I don't blame you.
I was at the liquor store and I was like, I have to,
It's a little ethanol-y.
You're a little ethanol-y.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez, Perry.
Sorry.
I admit I did do a very strong pour, and I just took the entire pour.
Oh, wow.
It was very good.
What's the equivalent of a Perry Port to Swan?
Oh,
a Swan
man,
Gold?
I don't know.
Swan
Swan
dive?
Gold. Yeah.
A Swan dive. There we go.
Just taking a little swan dive.
Yeah, that cool thing where they just dip into the water and their tail sticks up, but they
Yeah.
think they're fully underwater. Trust me,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been there. We're not.
We're not. We might be. Because it's
Swan,
not a bird bath.
You have changed your brand
Bird
as
bath's pretty good,
Swan
though.
so much recently,
It's
and
great,
I'm
man.
so here for it. I'm so here for it.
Yeah,
it's
it's like
amazing.
sneaking in your house for a whole week.
That was hilarious. I got a text from Barry like, so Swan just broke into my house. I was like, oh.
To be fair, I
You
did
okay?
say let yourself in, but I did realize I was missing a few bottles after that happened.
Yeah, no, he said let yourself in, and then within 5 minutes, I was on his back porch with a glass in hand, so what are we pouring tonight? What's going on?
Linus Cat's wife found an Elijah Craig barrel proof B519. ISO that.
Ooh, what is the proof on that? I've not seen that yet.
It's
You know?
lower. It's like 122.
I'm okay with that because the last one that was super popular was 124. It was the B517,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone went nuts over that.
But everybody, from what I've read, the B519 is just kind of okay.
Mm.
But it's like... You pouring another one, Swan?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Just taking a little swan dive.
People say I don't drink anymore. Got proven wrong, Barry.
Staying at your place tonight.
Hey, man.
I think I gotta make it to campus. That's it. I'm good.
Joseph confirmed it is 122. What was I saying?
I don't know. How are you doing, Barry?
Fine. What's that? Is that a shoe? There was
Yeah,
a weird
that's mine.
squeaking.
That was mine.
Oh, okay. Good deal. Anyway. We still got people popping into the chat, too. ADHD Fisher.
Oh,
Hello, friend. B519 has hit Ohio, and the hunt is on.
I've also been noticing, at least in Kentucky, I find those releases seriously as the next one's coming out.
Yeah, I do too.
We've got at the store that I work at occasionally, we got 3 cases of the A in, but just now.
My dad made the point the other day. The blackened Metallica's whiskey
Mm-hmm.
is everywhere across the United States.
Huh.
Hasn't made it to Kentucky yet. It's produced in Louisville. I know.
We should be the special ones.
Yeah,
Shouldn't we?
for real.
Brian said Swan's headed for the couch, Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got tomorrow off?
Nope.
Calling off.
Could be a thing.
Oh man, I wish.
Yeah, same.
I got Monday off though.
Same here.
Dude.
Here. Man.
Speaking of Monday, since we have the day off on Monday, Swan and I figured we might do a little bit of something special for you folks. Maybe Patreon exclusive. Not sure yet. Maybe for everybody.
If it gets as fun as it's gonna be, I think,
Oh boy.
more than likely it's Patreon exclusive.
So Sunday night, something will be happening. Maybe we'll try to wrangle up special guests too.
I'm down.
Okay.
Can the special guest be bourbon? Because I'm all about that.
The special guest is always bourbon.
Well, then
That's
we're
the
doing
only-
great then, Barry.
What
We're
do you
doing
think we
great.
do here?
You didn't even go here.
Who do you know?
Oh, Marie's at the door. Clifton says he loves blackened.
I wish I could tell. Yeah, I wish I
Love
could
in
give
all
an opinion.
caps. Hey, Kurt, do you want to try this Kentucky All Confiscated? We're getting kind of close to an hour.
Yeah, let's go for it.
He looked up like it was still up there, but
When did you do that?
It's a bird. It's a bird.
did you really not see me snap?
It's a swan.
It's my bourbon finder.
This is somehow going off the rails quick, and I think it's just me.
I think it is too. What happened, man?
I don't know.
Ian said let's do a hangout. We could do a Patreon hangout on Sunday
I could
night.
probably do that. I have a laptop. I can make it work.
You gonna do it from your house? I thought you were gonna come over here on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I can do that
It's
too.
you, Barry.
We could do it from the house, remotely.
Oh, that doesn't bother me one bit. If I
Whatever
stay
you
at
want.
home, it'll get dangerous on my part, but
I think that could be a lot of fun.
oh yeah.
Swan, would you care for a Perry Scotch of Kentucky All Confiscated?
If you can put it in here, I'll take a little bit of that.
Is there a reason he wouldn't be able to put it in
I don't know. It's a bourbon that I feel like needs a Glencairn.
there? Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I've been there before.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like Dixon just mixed that so perfectly to be enjoyed. And like, when I say enjoyed, I mean not just put into a rocks glass and, drink like it's just another bourbon. Like, I feel like I gotta get the full nose on it, make sure I know what I'm drinking. Yeah, that's definitely Perry's baby.
All right, here we go.
Don't do me like that.
I'm sorry.
I put a hurting on it already, but it's mostly been because I've been sharing it with people. Been like, hey, you had this confiscated yet?
I did the same thing.
I'm
with the
excited
other
about
Kentucky
this.
Owl. Because when I got it, admittedly, you think immediately, like, why did I pay that much for anything?
Nose is good.
Yeah, and then you kind of have to justify the price in your head for just a second, but then you realize it's totally worth it.
Brian said Swan Danger is your middle name.
Oh, Swan Danger more. I like it.
Swan
Man.
Danger, the finder.
Dude, this
No
is,
finder, yeah.
I'm excited about this.
You should be.
Because with the rye, I was always, just kind of... It's good, With this, I'm very excited about. Like, this is what I want as a staple rather than the rye.
Well, it kind of is. It's the first one that's had pretty wide distribution.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not just that, but this is going to be their like this is going to be the regular release. Yeah,
This is.
I didn't know this.
So this is always going to be on the shelf.
Yeah.
I mean, it might vary a little bit batch to batch, but this is going to be their their small batch to their single barrel or their limited release.
Yeah, I'm excited for that to be on the shelf.
Me too. Man, that's good. There's a little, like, nutmeg. I'm picking up on some nutmeg.
Mm-hmm.
But the nose is, like, very baked goods, sweetness.
So
that fruit.
So some of you guys know this, but when I had the whiskey weekend batch 1 with the guys from the podcast, and we were at the Beaumont Inn with Dixon and everything.
Give me this all day.
I know, dude. I know. Anyway, so we were at the inn with Dixon, and one of the people who was there, Natalie, we were drinking one of the bourbons, and she picked up on a really specific note on 2018 George C. Stack. I think it was like plum or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Dixon stopped everybody during our tasting. He goes, "What did you say?" She goes, "I said plum." And he goes, "That is 100% exactly right." He pulled her aside afterwards and said, "You know what? I haven't done the tasting notes for Confiscated yet." So that afternoon, they sat down and they did the tasting notes for Kentucky Owl Confiscated. It's not on the bottle, but if you go and you look up online the tasting notes, Natalie had a hand in that.
That's so cool.
I was there to see it.
That's such a cool
That's awesome.
story.
I love that he's just so willing to accept help from others, and like he's constantly letting people try his batches, even maybe a little bit early, just to get their opinion on it and stuff. Because that's nuts. I have to imagine there's quite a few people that when they put out a product like this is how it was meant to be, he's willing to make a little bit of an exception if he feels like it needs to be changed for the general public.
For sure.
Do you get the plum?
Do I get that? No, it was on George C. Stack in 2018.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. That's good.
I was thinking Confiscated.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think that about does it for this week's live stream. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I'm sorry that we were a little bit more focused on the recording aspect of it. But...
Yeah, next time we should, next time we have a live stream, we'll just, all three of us will be...
Yeah, we'll actually be paying attention to it and everything. And I use this as a forum for us to be able to talk kind of with you guys about it. And so you could hear our thoughts, and then also so we could have this for the main podcast feed as well here in a couple of days. But I had fun. I hope you guys had fun listening to us as well.
Yeah.
Social media?
I'm on Instagram at MyBourbonFinder.
Recently at MyBourbonFinder.
Yeah, my, not the my.
Correct.
On Instagram, I'm KurtCon. On Twitter, Kurt_Con15.
I am personally at PRitter1492 on all social media accounts. The show is at MyBourbonPod, of course, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find all of our apparel and merch at bourbonshop.threadless.com. You can give the show a 5-star rate and review on iTunes, which really, really, really does help us out. It helps more people see the show, gives us a big boost on iTunes as well, and in the charts and everything. So please do that. It helps other people find the show, which we always want to do. We want new listeners. We want new people coming in. And, I mean, heck, if you've got a friend who's a bourbon lover and they like podcasts, tell them about the show. Or even if they like going on YouTube and watching videos or listening to stuff, tell them about the show. We'd love for you to bring in new listeners. It helps us out a whole lot. Let's see what else. Oh, join the Facebook group. Just search for This Is My Bourbon Group, and you can become a part of that. It's a whole heck of a lot of fun.
And it's been growing, too.
Yeah, it really has. Chad Perkins is in there now from It's Bourbon Night. I mean, I don't really know that guy at all, but
Never heard of him.
he's kind of cool, I guess.
I suppose he knows about bourbon.
He does a little bit.
Nah.
Anyway, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast is where you can become a patron of the show for as little as $1 a month. That helps us out, of course, a whole bunch. I would really, really appreciate it if you guys would go and do that. But also, no pressure. Absolutely no pressure to do that. this is totally like, if you can, great. If you can't, or don't feel like you should, or you don't want to, don't absolutely feel pressured into doing it. I've meant to say that more recently, and I've kind of forgotten to, but just want to put that out there. Anyway, I think that does it for this week's live stream. Thank you all for everybody who is in here and stuck around. We'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Curtis.
And I'm Swan.
And this is my Bourbon Podcast live stream.